spent 3 hours trying to film this video. Okay, let's start with this one. There's the old goodie. Hey Pokemon Masters, BirdKeeperToby here. Except I probably won't be here for that much longer. Okay, we've started the video. Okay, alright. Whoo, here we go. I think every YouTuber thinks about this kind of video, the goodbye video, what that would look like. It's, you know, and despite how much I've thought about it, once you're actually here, it's hard to know how to say it. To not want to re-record it, or to not hate, you know, to be judgmental and to hate what you've said or whatever. So let's start with the key important thing. Number one, thank you. Thank you. I am so incredibly grateful that I've got to do this, that I even have the option to go on a break after a successful YouTube career. I don't see myself as quitting, in the same way that a TV show is not, the actors and writers aren't quitting because it hit the final season. It's just the final season. And that's what BirdKeeperToby is. I set out in 2015 on a journey, and I feel that journey complete. Thank you for supporting it. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the intrigue. Thank you for the ideas. Thank you for joining the Discord. Thank you for ever coming up and saying hello to me. Thank you for any of the artwork you've ever made for me. I've saved every single picture across my various hard drives, every picture that you've ever sent to me in terms of like artwork and stuff, especially back in 2016 when that was really, really active. Thank you for any of that. Thank you for the Patreon support. Financial donations and contributions have always gone towards the channel. I've tried to make sure that every single penny goes in the pocket of an editor or goes in the pocket of an artist, to allow for Fakemon or to allow for just the editing of the videos in general. Thank you for that kind of support that's so above and beyond for effectively videos about Pokemon lore. Thank you for being part of this. This channel doesn't exist without you. So that's the first thing, that's the most important thing. TLDR, yeah, this is the last 4 months of BirdKeeperToby. January 1st will be a new beginning for me. I turn 30 next year. I want to explore what else is out there in the world. But also, if I do want to continue making videos one day, I think a break of 6 months to a year minimum is needed. Nothing short of that will reinvigorate my want to start something new, or if I'm rebranding from BirdKeeperToby and becoming LoreKeeperToby or whatever, or changing to do just Fakemon content, or changing to be a shorts channel, or changing to be a VTuber, or changing around, you know, Apple's got its new Vision Pro, maybe augmented reality content will be the next thing. Maybe I'll be able to make the Pokemon world feel real that way. But nothing short of a year break is going to reinvigorate me to think about content in that kind of way, if being a YouTuber or being a content creator is even something I still want to do. Let's, I guess, a little bit of context. And I think you all know this because people talk about it. Like, people talk about being a YouTuber like it's the best thing that you could do, like it being a social media influencer is like the thing. And I definitely came into the scene during that time 9 years ago, where it was, you know, everyone was saying, oh, I want to be a YouTuber, I want to be a YouTuber. And so the result of that is, yes, a lot of gratitude, but also a lot of, I need to make the most of this. I can't let it mess up. I can't let it go wrong. And my relationship to this job is not a healthy one. My relationship to this job is an endless to-do list, of which I'm always finding ways to add more onto. I struggle to engage with my friends. I struggle to engage in the real world. I struggle to live in the moment because I'm always thinking about what's next on the to-do list. And again, nothing short of a break is going to allow for that. I am incredibly grateful for this job, and I'm incredibly fortunate to be in a position where I can even be contemplating leaving it, or taking a year off. But this is something that needs to be done. When I think about continuing BirdKeeperToby just next year as business as usual, it fills me with dread. I don't want to keep doing this forever, and I don't think you want to keep seeing the same stuff shoveled to you year after year after year, week after week. You know, I think I could probably make better content if I'm going to make content again in the future, if I just take that time off. I think the videos would be better. when I started YouTube, just to get a little bit personal, I was just finishing university, and I had found this, and so there was a need to cling on quite tightly. I clung on so tightly, the following year in 2016, when the channel was blowing up, I sort of had to make a decision between the YouTube channel and a relationship that I was in, a very important relationship to me, that I ended up leaving, so that I could pursue this YouTube channel. And so I, now having made that decision, doubled down and clinged even tighter. That same year, a friend of mine passed away. Watching him pass away and lose any opportunities that he'd be able to have in the future made me want to hold even tighter and make the most, because I have to, for the people in my life who are now unable to make decisions. I clung on to this job. I clung on so tightly that when I went to therapy last year to finally soothe some of these things that had been on my mind for years, and really got to the bottom of it, I was unable to answer a simple question. Toby, who are you without this job? Who are you without Birdkeeper Toby? What does your life mean without it? And I looked at my therapist like she was crazy. What do you mean, who am I without this job? The job's the whole point. This YouTube is the whole point. On the outside, it's just a fun channel talking positively about the world of Pokemon, but on the inside, internally, and I'm gonna fill you in on a secret here. I think most YouTubers have a relationship. I think most people have relationships to their careers, but the YouTubers, like, I know personally a lot of them who are like have this kind of dynamic where it's not really just about the content. Not really. If you get down below it all, it's about the feeling of, well, what else would I do? And this has given me so much meaning, and I'm so lucky to have this. But it's not healthy. It's not a healthy relationship to have. And as I have begun to heal and grow over the last year, naturally the scary thoughts came in. Oh my goodness, I'm ready to leave the channel. I'm ready to stop. I'm ready for this to come to an end. I'm ready to see who I am without it, at least for a little bit. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm so happy. And I didn't want to just like stop then and there, because that revelation was maybe a year ago. I wanted to go for one last push to say, okay, well, if this is the last year of the channel, and indeed now the last 4 months of the channel, then I want to make the best videos I possibly can. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I recently got back from a trip to Japan that was made possible thanks to the sponsor Whatnot that you've seen on the channel all year long. Working with sponsors allowed for that trip, as well as a trip that's coming up to New York in October. I'm going to New York Comic Con. If you're there, I would love to see you. And these trips are to places that inspired the real Pokemon world. Perfect territory for my kind of favorite videos to make, the Pokemon epics, where I really am in the Pokemon world and making the Pokemon world feel real. So that's what this final little bit is about. In terms of other, whys, yeah, okay, so burnout, like, naturally, burnout on YouTube. I want to distance myself so that I can see if this is something I still really want to do in the future. But also burnout on Pokemon. If you like Pokemon, great, that's what this channel's all about. But I want it to be a channel that could be a constant source of positivity about Pokemon, and I'd be lying if I said that I felt constantly positive about Pokemon. I think the games continue to take 1 step forward, 2 steps back. I think the games have generally lowered in quality in the ways that matter, and they've increased in quality in other ways too, but in the ways that are important and integral to my enjoyment of the series, yeah, I'm less keen than I was. I think Legends Arceus was wonderful, but the first 2 hours of that game, or certainly of Scarlet and Violet, yeah. But that's not what this video is about. There are video essays out there all about that, and again, if you enjoy it, wonderful. But I can't continue to be a beacon of positivity in this community because I don't feel that way about Pokemon anymore. Pikachu has gone from being the mystical electric mouse that lives in Viridian Forest to a corporate mascot entity. I've become more jaded in relationship to it. And maybe that was always the case, but the illusion is broken for me now. So that's just where I'm at in relation to Pokemon. That said, I'm incredibly grateful again for the opportunities that I've been given, indeed by Pokemon directly. Again, what an incredible experience to get to do. So, next 4 months, banging videos, then going on break, might be back sometime with sporadic videos, might be back just to cover the release of each new game in the future. But again, nothing short of a year off is going to change that. And if I do come back, if I'm like, you know what, I'm nuts, why would I ever leave this channel? I hope, if I'm planning on doing another 9 years at some point, that I make a real concrete decision about what this channel is going to be going forwards. Patreon, I think I spoke about, sorry, I've recorded this video like 20 times, so like, I don't even know if I've mentioned Patreon in this video yet. Incredibly, just thank you for the Patreon support. Patreon will be going on pause, and will only be reactivated, one, with notice to you, and only be reactivated when I'm actually uploading content. I'm going to use this as a final call to action though. If you have ever thought that my content is worth a cup of tea, thank you very much, then consider supporting on Patreon for these last 4 months. Certainly, I'm going to need the help because I'm going to be going on break for such a long period of time, but additionally, the money is really going to go towards GFX and editing and really making those last 4 months everything they can be. And again, once I stop uploading, Patreon will go on pause. And thank you so much to those of you who've been supporting me on Patreon, especially the people who have been big patrons, $100 a month for several months, over a year for some of you. And every time I say, I jump on call with these people, I say the same thing, which is, hey, if you need to stop at any point, please do. Like, at the end of the day, this is a channel about Pokemon lore, and the generosity and kindness in relation to this channel has been wild. Okay, I think I've said everything I need to say. I will be doing a video that's like a recap of the entire history of the channel. I'm excited to move on to the next steps of my life. I don't see this as a negative. Yes, burnout is a feature, but I see this as the natural conclusion. I'm happy that I did this. I'm so happy I did this. And that's it. So cool. I'll see you in the next video, business as usual. In the next 4 months, I hope you really enjoy what I'm putting out there. I'm really excited to show you more. I hope I've mentioned everything. I've recorded this video about 20 times. I hope I've said everything. I think I have. Okay, no, Editor Toby here. I definitely forgot to say a couple little bits of admin. So first and foremost, over the next 4 months, I'm going to be uploading 20 to 30 Pokemon epic videos. I'm also going to be covering the DLC. I'm going to be covering like definitive versions of a number of Pokemon theories, new Pokemon theories, Teal Mask, Indigo Disc, and of course, a big Tree of Evolution Ultimate video. That was the most popular video on this channel, so I'm recreating it with all of the more up-to-date stuff, because I think that video is like as up-to-date as a Lola. So like definitely room to improve that video and kind of make the definitive version of that. Right, events, New York Comic Con. I'd love to meet as many of you as possible. I've never been to New York before, so New York Comic Con in October. Come along. If you live in London, though, I will also be going to Sitsi in mid-January. That'll be sort of my first event, not as Birdkeeper Toby, just as a YouTuber, ex-YouTuber guy, and will also probably be my last event for a while, I would have thought. So those are the two best opportunities to say hi before I kind of wrap this thing up. I don't want to be a channel. I don't want to be one of those things that just existed on the internet and went on way too long. You know, we all know those shows, those movie franchises, those video game franchises where it's like, hey, maybe the creatives clearly should have just gone on break, or maybe just wrap the whole thing up. Like, no one wants to be that thing that goes on too long. So again, I want to just really push to you how positive a decision this is for me. This is not a sad thing. This isn't a positive. I'm so glad I did this, not just the channel, but decided to end the channel in this way. And again, if I ever do come back one day, it'll be with a renewed vigor. It'll be ready to go. But 2024, I'm not going to be uploading to Birdkeeper Toby, I don't think, as far as I know right now. I want to say thank you to my parents who haven't totally freaked out at the idea of me moving on from my online career, to my best friend Falcone for the support, for my real life friends, you know, and other YouTube friends who have heard me on this and spoken to me on all of this, and spoken me through this decision, and then also, of course, the lovely supportive Last Shaman, Phoebe, who you can follow on social media. All of the links to all of my social medias, all of her social medias, are all down below in the description. I actually recommend for this one you do actually go down to the description and click those links. There's my Twitter. Not sure how frequently I'll be on that platform, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Threads, again, not sure how frequent I'll be, but Instagram, BugKeeperToby on Instagram, you'll see me, I assume, still there. Obviously, I've got my Discord, community Discord. The reins of that will probably mostly be handed over to the community. It kind of already has been, but you know, I'll have a presence there. Then of course there's my vlog channel, Toby Chill. Actually, if I'm going to make videos, that's probably the place it's going to be. And of course there's Absurd Zelda Theories, where when new Zelda games get announced, I'll probably continue to make videos there just for fun, because it really is just fun. Right, I think that's everything. So again, just that final, reiterating that final note, I'm so glad I did this. Thank you. And as always, soar high, Pokemon Masters.
Hello there, it's me, Professor Oak. This video is over, so please choose another one wisely and quickly. Bye-bye.
Just the biggest thank you to those of you who are supporting this channel on Patreon, and a special thank you to the big patrons of the month, Jed Rubin, Charmander Ansible, Anthony Lee, The Elgator, and Michael Hornshoe. Thank you so much.